Hello, and thank you for joining Violet's DIY Style. We're going to be making some rustic Easter egg table centerpieces. All the supplies that I use are going to be listed below simply because once I started painting the eggs white, I changed my mind of what I was going to make and ended up making something completely different. So first what we're going to do is again paint the Easter foam eggs white, and then while they're drying we're going to be making some cotton, I guess you can call them cotton balls, buds, with acorn and cotton balls, and we'll be doing that as soon as I finish completing painting the eggs. What you're going to do first is remove the little leaves or sections of the acorn, and we're going to be pulling apart the cotton ball and then just gluing these little leaves or sticks, or I don't know what they're called, but we'll be gluing them to the cotton balls to make them look like the cotton buds. You just pull apart the cotton and then go ahead and kind of round it out and fluff it a little bit, and then just put some glue on the cotton ball. This is the way I do it. And then just pick out the ones you want, the leaves of the acorn and the pine cone, and then just glue them onto the cotton ball. And I like to squeeze them together once I'm done gluing them all of them, just to give it that more of that puffy look and floral type kind. And then we just set those aside and let them dry. While those are drying, we're going to be doing another project. In this project, you're going to need the eggs again, and then we're going to start decorating them. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to use some neutral colors for these. So I just got some lace that you can get at the Dollar Tree, of course, and just decorate them the style you want. But I'm going to be using lace, some jute twine, and some moss grass and buttons and flowers, and just anything that would suit the decor that you're going to do. This is a good project to use a lot of the extra pieces of ribbon or beads or diamonds that you have, that you save, and just for that extra tiny little thing that you need. Here I'm cutting up some more of the pearls just to complete the egg that I'm making right now. And this is another idea. I used some of the doilies that they have at Dollar Tree, and I just wrapped one of the Easter eggs with it. They don't have to be perfect. I mean, at least mine didn't, because I was going for that rustic and more natural look. Here I'm just gluing everything together just so it can round it out. And then I'm gonna, like I said, you don't have to make it perfect. At least this one I didn't, because I'm gonna put a ribbon around it, so you're not gonna see all the glue and stuff that I put on top. Have you guys ever done that? Let me know in the comments below, when you start a project and then you end up changing your mind like completely and doing something completely opposite. I do that a lot. But here I am just wrapping the ribbon around so it covers up all the imperfections, and there they are. Okay, now we're gonna need some clear curtain rods and some moss grass, and what we're gonna do is wrap the moss grass around the curtain rod, or the curtain hooks, And you don't have to be neat, because it means you want that rustic look. And once you're done with the moss, wrapping it around, just trim it up, and then I'm going to use some jute twine to wrap some around it in order for me to hang it. And here I'm just trimming out the moss. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. Kind of tighten it. I like tighten it, you know, my hands just squeezing it together just to keep it, give it a little tighter look. And then of course, every time you use moss grass, it's a good idea to spray like glue, spray glue or hairspray. I use hairspray on it just so it won't fall off that much. There's a jute twine that you just cut a piece off and wrap it around. The opening is where I left it black. So just close that up and then just start wrapping the jute twine around it. As much as you like. I do it several times. And then whatever's left of the jute twine, just glue it to make a little hook. And that way you can hang it later on. And this is another project that you can use the leftover little pieces of twigs or flowers, even succulents. I have the tendency of cutting the inside of the succulents, so I have little pieces of that, and just extra things that you have laying around. What I'm gluing now is a little nest that I made out of jute twine. And then here, I didn't have any of the wooden wreaths that they sell at Dollar Tree, so I had some of these twigs that you put in planters or vases for decorative purposes, and I soaked them in water for about 10 minutes, and they were really flexible, so I just wrapped them around to shape an egg. But you can also use, again, the wreath, the wooden wreaths at Dollar Tree for this. And then I had some of the long stem flowers that they sell at Dollar Tree, and just I'm wrapping them around the Easter egg, the wooden stick Easter egg that I made. You can wrap around and decorate it as you want. I just, since I'm going to use this on my kitchen table, I wanted it to match the other Easter egg DIYs that I did. You can see that on my channel, that other project. But you just glue whatever you want around it. Again, I try to keep it a little bit simpler, simply because I'm going to add a lot to what we're going to do next, which is a nest. And I'm using one of the planter, I guess you can call them the planter holders, and I cut it up, and right there I'm just measuring to see how much I need to make a little nest. And it's folded, so you can unfold it, and I just pulled it apart a little bit just to make it look messier, again, because it's a nest. And then once you're happy with how much you pulled it, just put a little bit of glue, and then just start working with it and wrapping it around to make it look like a nest. And you can make it as big as you like. I'm just trying to make it big enough to fit inside the Easter egg that I made with twigs. If you get the wreaths, the wooden wreaths from Dollar Tree, do the same thing to it. Soak it for a little while in water, and warm water, and that way it'll be easier to bend. And right there I'm just getting some of the mesh, and just, I think that's what it's called, and wrapping it around just to make it look more like a nest, more of that natural look. And then once you're done with that, you can set it aside. There's going to be a part here where those right here, that was assigned with the 4 squares that said love from Valentine's that I had. So I just pulled those apart, and I decided to use one of the squares as like a stand for my Easter egg. I put a lot of hot glue on it and then just glued the twigs onto it so it could stand and be more secure. And here I'm gluing the nest to that. And then here comes the fun part. One of those wreaths that we made with the curtain holder rods, the rings, you're going to tie it to the Easter egg And you just play with it and fix it however you like. And then we're gonna put some moss, little rocks, and that's one of the succulents that I cut the inside of, the center of, and I still think it looks pretty, so I used it just so it can kind of go with the other eggs that I made. And then I'm putting in one of those little twig balls that they sell in a pack of 4 at Dollar Tree. I'm adding some of the cotton that we made, and those are some of the eggs that we made. And then it's just a piece of the same stem of flowers that I glued around the twig. And you can play with it and everything. I didn't quite like the way it looks, so I'm adding some planter moss inside of it. And also I added some planter moss around the bottom of the nest where the square is at, just so you wouldn't see the little wooden square. And to finish it up, what I'm going to do is wrap some jute twine around my fingers. You can wrap it around as many times as you want. I did about 8 wraps. And then with another piece, I'm tying a knot, and then it makes a really cute little bow. So I'm going to add that to the top. And there you go. And I made 2 of these. First I had thought about making 3, but once I made the second one, I thought it was enough. And then with the remainder squares of the love sign, I'm going to make a shadow box, and with the letters, I'm going to go ahead and make the silhouette rabbit that I printed out. Yeah, see, those are the L and the V, and all I'm going to do is trace the rabbit that I printed out and then just cut it out. This is a good way to recycle stuff that you don't think you're going to use or want to use the following year. It's all about, being creative and thinking outside of the box and using it for other stuff. And the burlap on here is already hard since it was glued onto the square, so it's really a good way to use it. And then I decided to make the shadow box, so what I'm doing is with popsicle sticks. I scored them to the right size, and now I'm just going to glue them to the square that I painted white because it was a Valentine's. It was red, but you can keep it red if you like, or flip it around and make it the wood color. So you're just gluing the popsicle sticks. I left them natural, but you can paint them or, do whatever you like with that. And I did it as shadow box because I wanted it to stand up. And then once you're done with that, just glue your rabbit in. And I didn't like the rough edges that much. So with jute twine, you'll see that I'm going to wrap it around where the popsicle stick meets the square board, and also the front of it. And I'll be making a bow with jute twine the same way, wrapping it around your fingers as many times as you like, and then putting it on one of the corners. You won't see it here, but after I was done, I decided it needed a little bit more, so I added some more of that planter moss to the square in the bottom, so it could be as if the rabbit was standing on it. And then I also got some more of the cotton and made the bunny tail with it. And on one of these silhouettes, I added a yellow ribbon just to make it look like a boy and a girl. Let me know down below what you would do different, or if you have any ideas or something different that you might suggest that I can do next time. And here I am tying the bow. And then just gluing it to one of the corners. But like I said, I also wrapped it around the square. And there you go. And here it is all completed. I'm going to be putting this on my dining room table. What do you guys think? Hope you enjoy. And please, if you do like this video and my DIYs, subscribe and share with anyone that you think might like it and enjoy it as well. Until next time, you guys be blessed. Bye-bye.